While yesterday's episode was uploading, I came back out here and I resprayed the other side of these little parts. And then after about 2 hours, I guess it was, I did break these ones free because I didn't want the frog tape to be sticking along the top of the rails. However, I didn't take these ones off, and they've been stuck on there for about 14 hours now. Anyway, I'm just going to take these off now, and we'll just check and see, do we have any, sticky stuff off of the frog tape. And that's why I started using the frog tape, because it was recommended as not being, in other words, the gum that is on the tape doesn't come off onto whatever it is you stick it onto. This is starting to sound a little bit convoluted here. I almost feel like reshooting what I just said here. But anyway, but these seem to be okay. We'll take a close look here. I think that's how I ended yesterday's episode, saying we'd take a close look. While I'm thinking of it, one of the viewers made the comment that I had mentioned how I wasn't a sports fan, and then the coffee cup was a sports mug. The Toronto Raptors. Do you know, I honestly don't know how we came to get that mug. It could be it was one of the kids' mugs, and it just stayed in the house and they didn't take it with them when they moved out. Anyway, no, I am not a sports fan. And that's why when Jim mentioned that these look like goalposts, I didn't catch on at first. Okay, we'll just do the one here today. I know we did this, 3 times yesterday? Okay, turn it over. Did I turn it over, or did it just go up and back? I'm not seeing any sign of any tape anyway. Now I do have to handle these with extreme care when I'm using the tweezers. And I have to use the tweezers on them. I'll try and use my rubber-tipped tweezers as much as possible here. Now I have the real bad habit of taking a little part like this and just dropping it into the metal tuna tin. And, if a sharp edge from here hits a sharp edge of there, it's going to chip the paint off. And I've got to stop doing that. Now, one of the viewers made the comment that yesterday's episode reminded him of slow TV. In other words, you just watch somebody do some mediocre task. Do you remember The Truman Show? The movie called The Truman Show about 20 years ago, and people just sort of watched this guy just do everyday activities. Well, this model show is almost like that, because, how much different can I make it? There's only so much that I can do that's different. It's basically the same thing over and over again. Nip a little part off the sprue, trim off the flashing, paint it, it's like that. How many parts has this kit got? I think it's like 1,700 parts or something, if you include every little piece of photo etch and what have you. Anyway, let's have a look at these. wonder why that is sticking. It's almost like it's become magnetized or something. Notice that? Or is there something stuck on the end of the tweezer there and I can't see it? It's plastic. There shouldn't be any static well, yeah, I guess there could be static electricity in plastic. Anyway, I think it survived pretty good. You have heard me say many times, you're seeing this better than I am, and that last scene was a perfect example. Yeah, I didn't notice that the gum from the, it was the gum from the masking tape, what we were talking about, or the double-sided tape in this case. This tape right underneath here is that double-sided tape. And anyway, I'm not seeing too much on, in fact, I'm not seeing any on there right now. Maybe when I play this back and, watch it in the monitor, it'll be a different story. Yeah. Anyway, let's get these pieces off and put into a little tuna tin. You can see it's sticking on there. I can see that even without looking in the monitor. This is the last of the, I believe it was 32 pieces that we have to make up here for these ladders and so on. Now these are the two, there was two just like this. They go on the side of the superstructure. They're not the ones that go down the side of the ship. Anyway, we'll stick those on first. And you remember I was mentioning that they were not painted on the underside? Well, you won't be seeing the underside. And you'll see why in a moment. Yes, I had said I was not going to use the metal tweezers for this. I was going to use the rubber-tipped ones. Problem is, the rubber-tipped ones have a tendency to stick to it, and it goes, according to the manual, just like that, one on each side. Now, generally the problem is not placing them. The problem is touching the applicator with the glue and then being able to remove the applicator and not have the little ladder stick to the applicator. I mean, it'll happen almost every time. You can count on it. And I'm just wondering if possibly this is a case where maybe Ian can give us a hand. Okay, I think that's just about right. Now let's just do a tiny little test here, very gently. Yeah, Ian's fingers are actually holding it in place. Otherwise, what could happen is I'll end up touching it with the applicator and everything's going to go flying. I am looking at it up close now, and I don't think the ladder is positioned right. I think the bottom has to go in closer to the wall so that the top is a little bit higher. Those little brackets that are kind of molded into the side of the wall at the very top there I think it's, I think the ladder should be almost touching those. So I'm just going to reposition everything here and then we'll glue it in place. At least I know this is going to work. That only took about 5 minutes. I'm just going to tack it in one spot. Did it get off? Is there anything on there? I don't have the monitor on right now. Okay, there. I can actually see it. Now we'll let that cure. Then we should be able to pull the fingers away. Now I had not noticed here that the ladder had moved on me. This finger right here is kind of wedged in between the two railings. So I'm going to just hold it in while I pull the fingers out. Yeah, the ladder is not quite right. Don't know if I can straighten it out there or not, or I'm just going to end up breaking it off. Now, normally what I would do is I would put a little bit of glue on the deck where the stringers attach, but I don't think I'm going to on this one. It seems to be fastened quite well at the top, so let's just leave well enough alone. It's not like it has to provide any structural strength or anything. And yes, I do notice that I'm going to have to straighten the railing and touch it up with a paintbrush. Okay, let's see if we can't do a better job on the starboard side. First we'll check, is it in place? Yep. No, I hope I didn't get my hand in your way there, but that one went perfect. Now if that sets up, it should be a fairly strong fit. Okay, well, our CA glue is curing here. Maybe this is a good time to talk about a problem that we might be having if we continue on with this step. In that, way back many months ago, when we were doing the hull, I did not put the rudders or the propellers on because I said they might get broken off. But I'm realizing now that if we put those ladders on the sides, the hull is going to be a lot harder to turn over so that I can get the propellers and the rudders on. I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen here. Okay, that seems to be pretty strong. I'm just trying to get any dust off of there Okay. Yeah, we'll swab the deck when we're all done here, like in a few months. I have swung the ship back around, so it's going to be the same orientation as the plan here. And you notice on the bottom here we got those two little pegs. Well, they're supposed to go in these little holes here, but not quite like that. I know I've mentioned this before. The reason I keep dropping these things is because I'm scared to squeeze them hard. Now it's going to go something like that. Now it's probably not going to stay there as soon as I let go because it's lopsided this way. Oh, no, it is going to stay there. Okay, well that makes it easy. I think we could probably just go ahead and glue that in place. And then this little hinge thing in the back, I'll stick the macro lens on after so we can see it better. But the idea is that the ladder is supposed to go down at about a 45-degree angle. And then one of these is supposed to plug in right here like this, in this hole. Okay, and then that goalpost thingy is supposed to hang down and fasten on the bottom of the ladder. I'm sort of walking myself through this here so I know what I'm going to do. Because once I glue it in place, it's going to be kind of hard to make changes. This is CA medium. Oh my goodness. There we go. You know, this is kind of bad news because I just realized that if I try to get that, that hinge is too close up against the edge of the deck, the gunnel, I can't get this in there. I got a feeling I'm going to have to pry that plastic part off here and mount the and then put it on. Yeah, once again, I'm thinking out loud here. Am I going to be able to get that off now easily? Oh my. Feels like it's going to break. Oh, I'm going to have to think of something else here. Maybe I'm going to have to take the hobby knife and just sort of whittle in there on the gunnel so that I can get that part of the stringer in. Yeah. We'll see what happens when I move down to the next one. Now I don't want to be cutting off that little pin that comes out for the hinge either. I almost need some sort of like a micro saw. I do have a little razor saw. Okay, so I've cut it down, but now to get that waste removed. Yeah, I wonder if the bristles from my toothbrush here would be. Oh, this isn't working too good. Wonder, what if I was to put something underneath the edge here and pry it up? Could I get it off the deck? And I did go and CA glue it to the gunnel too. Let's see what happens if I go underneath like this. Hey, I got it. And it didn't break. Okay, now let's see if I can get rid of all that Alright, now the plan is we'll see if we can hook the stringers onto the hinge. I'm wondering if maybe I should cut these pegs off, because they are not going to, they're still going to want to go back into the same place, right? And it's still going to be too much in that way. Now you have no idea how badly I actually wanted to assemble those two pieces on camera, but it was just too finicky. Okay, got rid of that white spot anyway. Okay, let's do a dry run here first. Can I get those pegs to fit back in the original holes? Or is it, no, I don't think so. I think I'm going to have to cut those pegs off of the bottom of this piece here. You notice that the hinge actually works. Here's another thought. On the bottom of this thing, there's supposed to be a little piece that's supposed to be like a little platform that you would stand on. I think maybe it might be a good idea to get that put on now. Yeah, I think I better put those on now. Once again, the day has slipped away on us. And these are the little platforms that have to go on the bottom. But you know what? We're going to have to do that in tomorrow's episode. It's almost 3 o'clock here in Winnipeg, and this video is well over 20 minutes long already. So, yeah, if I want to get it uploaded in time for normal viewing, I guess I'm going to have to say thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.